All right, where to begin? Larry Scott. By the way, I'm Marky Billson. You're listening to Tri-City Sports Now, 1420 NBC Sports Radio Tri-Cities. Larry Scott used to be the offensive coordinator at Tennessee. People didn't like him. Why? The team went 4-8 when they hired him. He hasn't called the play since Sebring High School. Well, he's the new tight ends coach at the University of Florida. So he's going back to his home area here. He replaces Juwan Sider, who went from being the tight ends coach at Florida to being the wide receivers coach at Penn State. I found that, which, by the way, I thought that was something of a coup that Penn State is taking coaches away from Florida now. Remember, it was thought 2 years ago to be a pretty big coup for Tennessee to take coaches away from Penn State when they hired Bob Shoop, the former defensive coordinator. Well, things have changed since then now, haven't they? Shoop now is at Mississippi State, and of course Mississippi State, which is where Joe Moorhead, former offensive coordinator at Penn State, is. And let's go even to this. Dan Mullen, former head coach at Mississippi State, is now the head coach of the Florida Gators. Okay, so we're caught up to date here, all that. Jeremy Pruitt doesn't necessarily like the smoky gray uniforms. Okay, we're here with that. One other assistant coaching or coordinator position that I wanted to talk about. This is a few days old, but you may or may not have seen it. But University of Maryland hired Matt Canada, late of LSU, to be their offensive coordinator. I actually think Canada is probably in better shape at Maryland than when he had applied for the head coaching job at Rice, even though just a couple of years ago, and it was 3 years ago that Rice won 10 games out of Conference USA. Still, it's Conference USA. It wasn't that long ago. But that's high watermark for Rice, certainly. Canada was known for working with Nate Peterman at Pitt and turned him from a guy who couldn't get his feet in front of each other playing against Florida at Tennessee to knocking off Deshaun Watson and throwing 5 touchdown passes at Clemson the year that the Tigers won the national championship. So I think that Maryland has just hired a good offensive coordinator. Question is if Maryland will ever be able to compete in the Big Ten, considering that they are in a division with Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State. That's the question there. Tri-City Sports Now. There's also reports here that the NCAA is going to look into the Connecticut men's basketball team. There you are. All right. Got tonight, by the way, 6:30 is a tip-off for the girls basketball team of Unicoi County when they take on Johnson County. And at 8 o'clock, the all-time leading scorer, or I should say the area's leading scorer, Trevor Hensley, is going to be playing for Unicoi County against Blake Atwood and the Johnson County Longhorns. Here are the sponsors of that game. Health and Home Care, Jones and Church Farms, Unicoi County Insurance Agency, Unicoi Gas Utility District, Farm Bureau Insurance, Irwin Paint and Body Shop, Clinchfield Federal Credit Union, the computer guy of Irwin, with his collection of pictures of beautiful brunette women that have been autographed. See Shania Twain, get the virus taken out of your computer. Irwin Computer Guy there on Gay Street, downtown Irwin. Relay for Life of Unicoi County, Dr. Jason Cunningham. He's a dentist. Get your teeth cleaned there. Irwin Utilities, who sponsor the free throws. Irwin Bonding, Unicoi County Memorial Hospital, Urgent Care of Irwin, Irwin Pets, and the Irwin Kentucky Fried Chicken, where tonight we will be giving away during the broadcast, beginning at 6:30 for the women and 8 p.m. for the men, $25 worth of free chicken from Irwin KFC. Only here on 1420 NBC Sports Radio Tri-Cities. So that'll be the game. This game will be broadcast. It'll be basically by the time, it won't be broadcast at all the Tri-Cities. It couldn't be heard, however, in Irwin. So for our Irwin listeners, we ask you to tune in, and you'll be able to, even if you're not a high school basketball fan, not only listen to my play-by-play, but possibly win some free, delicious chicken from KFC. When we come back, Brandon Marshall and Scott Boros are running their mouths. Ivan is becoming the talk of area high school basketball. A 2,000-point score leading